The world might feel a bit more chaotic and a bit more divided. It's easy to forget sometimes that there are constants. Your home's still your home, your family's still your family, and all the structures of our society are still there to look after you if you need it.
Here we go. George's resource.
Adult male, code red trauma, 10 minutes.
Activate the helipad.
There's been an explosion on a building site.
Heart rate 200.
Open your eyes, open your eyes.
Imagine having to work here.
Hello, Annie, can I help?
St George's, London.
It's all gonna kick off now.
One of Britain's busiest A&E departments.
Are we ready to roll?
Carry on CPR.
Oh, goodness me, it's all happening, isn't it?
We need to fix that, or you won't survive.
Is it?
A place where life,
Would you say I was fit, Doctor? Honestly, I think I'm quite fit.
love,
You are my everything. I love you, and it's okay.
and loss
Oh, Mum. I'm so sorry.
unfold every single day.
For every bad thing that you see, there is something equally wonderful out there.
Filmed across one 24-hour period, these are the stories of a nation and its health service.
I thought I was going to die.
You're definitely not going to die. You've got too many good doctors and nurses here.
When people experience really significant illness or injuries, we see people pull together, we see relationships get stronger, and we see people reflect on what really is the most important things in their life.
Whatever happens, it's going to be okay.
I love you.
Love you too.
Hello, St. George's. Closed tib, fib, yeah. Okay, allergy. Thank you.
What's wrong with the patient?
It's critical. 24-year-old male, closed tib, fib from football.
Okay.
When a young person is being blue lighted in with a severe fracture, it's an urgency to get everything ready. Getting the specialty team down as soon as possible is vital. Hi, just to let you know we're getting in a trauma call, the one specifically for you, closed tib fib fracture. In a fracture, the alignment of the bones are out of place, therefore causing blockage or restriction to blood flow to the certain vessels, so the limb can be severely compromised. It's a football injury, 24-year-old male. Yeah, it's going to come into resus. They're bluing it in. They'll be here in 4 minutes.
Tell him I'll arrange X-ray.
If blood flow is restricted to the lower leg, this could cause loss of movement, loss of sensation, or loss of the limb in worst case scenario. Therefore, it's important to realign the bones as soon as possible.
We've got a tib fib fracture coming in.
The patient's father is making his way to the hospital.
It was like a normal Sunday. I had gone to work. I was very, very busy when I answered Karan's call. He said, "Look, Dad, don't panic, okay?" From that point, I knew that something has happened and I didn't know how serious it was. In my mind, it just takes you to the worst possible.
Into one, please, guys. Yeah. Perfect.
So what do I have to do?
You basically shuffle your bum across onto
Just shuffle to this one for me. I'm going to hold your leg, okay?
Oh, well done.
That's it.
So this is Karan. He's 24 years old. He's been a player, gone in for like a tackle with the goalkeeper, been impact. It's an obvious tib fib fracture. It is closed, about a 20-30 degree angulation. Obvious, really nasty critical sin on sort of this side. So that's sort of laterally across, and then you can see. He's actually had good cat refill, good warmth. Reduced at 1350 with Entonox, ketamine, Madaz, morphine, and paracetamol.
Strong.
I'm not sure how straight we got it. I think we got it as straight as we can.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We've got a different one for you to have, okay? All right, so use this one. Hi, buddy, my name's Georgina. I'm so sorry to hear what's happened today. Keep that nice in your mouth so you get the full medicine, okay? I understand you're normally well, and this happened playing football, right? Someone came in and kicked you like that. Shins up, double foot tackle. Hope they were sent off. It's terrible. All right, we're going to get you sorted, okay? Let's get him onto a monitor, please.
I just couldn't wait to get to the hospital. I couldn't wait to see him.
Please take care of him.
Oh, yeah, of course we will.
I think each and every parent on this earth will feel the same way and think the worst will happen.
I'll book some x-rays. Tib, fib. Do you want ankle and knee as well?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
The mind that plays games on you, you know.
If you happen to have any pain around your hips, that's fine, isn't it? And here, that's fine. Can you move your toes for me? All the way? Okay.
And you always fear the worst. You just can't avoid these thoughts. They keep coming and they don't stop.
St George's A&E.
Is your back hurt? No. No, it's fine. Sorry, mate, I just fancied an outing. But I'm really hungover at A&E. Best place in the world. Everyone loves hanging out in A&E for hours.
30-year-old Will is in A&E with a painful swelling on his head. His mum Sandy is with him.
In order to entertain ourselves, we're playing Guess the Age.
Yeah. Guess the age of the nurse, and then on 3, you have to say the age. Do the nurse who is sitting down with the darker hair. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 25.
Oh, good.
I think my childhood was perfect. We were a very close family, me and my 2 younger sisters. We lived in the countryside, quite a nice little cottage. We've got swings in the trees, we've got dens that we're making in the woods. Perfect for when you're younger. I would say I was a protective older brother, and I was happy to be there for them when needs be.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, that is the hand wash.
It's the soap, isn't it?
That's so I thought it was the squirt one. It doesn't tell you.
It's got pictures.
Yeah, but it doesn't picture the water on it. What are you doing?
I just wanted to press the levers.
Use your hands, you big kid.
I was very competitive, whether it be sport at school, whether it be amongst the family. With the school bleep test, I was always up there with the highest. My main sport was cricket, and from under 19 to under 16 I played for Surrey. So yeah, sport was my love.
That's where it's all.
I wonder why it has. I wonder if it was just a spot or something, or has it been itchy or aching?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
And then on the odd occasion, just aware of it.
Have to wash all that hair gel out now.
Yeah.
I was never a person to be getting into confrontation. My parents always taught me, if there's any danger, take yourself away. Don't go and get involved in it. I don't think I could ever imagined my life changing so quickly and so dramatically. I was just your normal, average teenager doing average things, and then it was a huge whack, a change in my life.
Um, 3186.
3812.
3186.
Where did you get that?
Hello. It's the air conditioning. Oh, it's wrong. 3816.
3186.
Oh, 3186.
3186.
You know.
3816.
No, 3186.
Oh,
What are you doing?
I told you I didn't sleep well last night. I think I'll have a cup of tea.
Good idea.
It's very cold.
I'll get you a blanket in a minute.
Gracias.
Nada.
Karan is in resus after breaking his leg playing football.
Even at a young age, Karan was not so much as interested in pocket money, but in making money. He used to go to school, and in the evenings, he would always come and sit with me at Bureau de Change shop in Notting Hill Gate. Anytime a customer came along, he would say, I'm going to do this deal. And he would run to the window and transact the business. He learned a lot from that. In fact, my mother made a comment that, you know, this guy is doing all your business. I'm telling you now, he's going to drop out of school. He'll go straight into business.
And now hold this with your hands. You can go with him, Anthony.
Anthony,
Yeah, man.
take care of me, yeah?
Take care of your blood.
My name's Archie. I'll be doing your x-rays, okay?
Okay, Artie.
His life is a lot easier than my life was at his age. When I came to the UK, I was 19 years old. My father was running a travel agency business over here. It was November 1979. It was cold, raining, dreary. I knew nothing about the UK. Imagine you are here in November and your dad has told you this is the rent that's got to be paid. These are the due dates. This is how you do this is how you do that. Within 3 days, he was gone. It was very difficult for me at that time, coming out of a comfort zone, I think.
Artie.
Yes?
I'm very cold.
You're cold. Do you remember what you were doing? How did you hurt yourself?
Goalkeeper had no right to come for the fucking ball.
I see.
I'm sorry about my language.
That's right.
But you know, my dad says God's in the profane and the profound. That's why I don't mind swearing.
When Karan was very young, he used to always tell me, I'm going to run a corner shop when I grow up. Karan was 17. One day he came to me and said, look, Dad, I'm not finding this education challenging enough for me.
Try stay awake for a little while
Okay.
while I do your x-rays, okay?
Okay.
Why don't you talk to me about something so you don't fall asleep?
I won't fall asleep.
You won't fall asleep.
I have too much on my mind.
What do you have on your mind?
I have to get... I don't know who's gonna handle my business. They want my dad to work for so long.
Oh, that's nice of you for caring for your dad.
I had a friend who had a corner shop and he wanted somebody else to run it. I said, look, you have always said you wanted to run a corner shop. Here it is now, you go and run it.
Okay, we're all finished. Anthony's going to take you back to resus now.
But I knew that till he didn't get it out of his system, he would always have this because it was so close to his heart.
We see a lot of adult men coming into the ED. In essence, these young men are often strong individuals, strong personalities.
Look after you.
But then when you're in hospital, your strength is taken away from you. Your dignity is taken away from you.
Safe, my G.
I think initially young people will try and put on a brave face. But when you start coming to terms with your accident or injury, you become so vulnerable. And I guess you'd have to put your life in someone else's hands.
Right, let's wheel you down here. I'm Sam, I'm one of the doctors. Jonathan, what exactly
has happened here?
I was going to cut a slice of bread for a snack, but then I was so tired I ended up dropping the cutting board, which is big and it's made of wood.
It fell on his toe.
It fell on my toe, basically.
Okay, fine.
And the toenail looks like it's coming off, you know what I mean?
So, okay, yeah. I think what's probably sensible is to just get it x-rayed. Any other medical problems at all?
No, nothing in particular, no, just a
Just that.
wounded toe.
I will go and get that x-ray sorted for you.
I'm still shaking.
I know, it'll be all right. It's just the shock of it, don't worry. Jonathan is big-hearted, generous, brave, gregarious. Yeah, has a good soul.
I don't know whether I feel dozy because I'm tired from all that.
Well, it is 4 in the morning.
Yeah. Or I'm shaking because I'm nervous.
You probably as well. You probably are. It's seeing the blood and being nervous, and you're tired. His look on the world is very different to some of us, I think, and he often doesn't have a filter in that he will say, if something's in his head, he will say it. Just sit back, and relax. Yeah. And sip your water. You'll be fine. I know there seems a lot of blood, but it's a small injury.
I thought the more you lose blood, the more likely you're at death's door.
No, Jonathan, it's not that bad.
I've just been seeing too many films, maybe.
Yes, it's not that bad. Jonathan is unique. Sometimes one needs to explain the world to Jonathan in that he doesn't interpret the signals that most of us take. Because of his learning difficulties, he has a few more things to deal with than most kids. I remember coming home from primary school once and saying, Mum, you know, when they tell me I've got to pull my socks up, they don't want me to pull my socks up, they want me to do better. Oops. It's like, yes.
I'm more concerned if is it major or is it just?
No, if it was major,
it's just a little accident.
That's all it is, John. A little accident. As a little boy, he was quite happy running around and playing and chasing a ball and doing what boys do. Obviously, as John grew up, we realised more about his learning difficulties.
Everybody, all right, I want to take you for an X-ray.
Okay.
Okay.
Obviously, you want your children to sail through life and be happy. And when you see that there's going to be a few hurdles for them, it obviously makes it a bit more difficult.
Okay, let's have a look. Wonder if I'm going to have my bloods.
I would think that you're a nurse's dream with those veins.
Yeah.
But you are very veiny.
Will is waiting to see a doctor, having come to A&E with a swelling on his scalp.
I was turning 17. I had gone out for a joint birthday meal. None of us were drinking. There was always a saying between mum and dad, you know, make sure you're home before pub's empty. Yeah, to avoid, of course, any wrongdoings. So I'm outside waiting for mum, and then all of a sudden, an unprovoked assault comes out of nowhere. Punched, kicked, punched and kicked again, out of no fault of my own. The 5 who were involved had just been turfed out of the pub. They'd been kicked out. Then Mum arrives with her son lying on the road, blood coming out of his head. Got a cracked skull and my brain swelling inside.
Right, so what's brought you in today, Will?
I had a cranioplasty 13 years ago, and of course, so then titanium fitted for over half of my skull.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, the titanium is now, you wouldn't believe it,
Right.
showing, it's poking through.
And how long has that been going on for?
I noticed it a month ago, but then it was only today that my other half, she looked at it and then held onto the skin, moved it one way then the other. She said, there's metal, no metal.
Sure. And why did you have the cranioplasty in the first place?
I suffered an unprovoked assault due to the impact on the brain. Then, of course, skull removed in order to allow the brain to swell.
I think the first things we've got to be thinking about is whether there's anything's changed that's caused this to happen.
Yeah.
So I just shine this light here. Is that painful at all when I press here?
More so there.
Okay. Are you noticing any discharge?
There was a bit of yellow.
Yeah, it's been yellow and crusty.
Okay, and there's no other pain around the head at all?
At the back of it, it's sore.
There it's
around
sore.
it, yeah.
Well, it's a bit of a specialist case, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a word with one of the consultants here.
Yeah.
And we'll have a decision what we're going to do next, all right?
Yeah.
I'll come back and let you know.
Thank you.
Next time they see me, I'm in ICU in a coma. After my birthday meal. To see their son in a coma on the hospital bed, numerous wires coming out of him. My head the size of a real big balloon. They said it didn't look human.
We were just trying to decide whether the fact that he is so veiny means that he's an ideal patient to learn on.
Oh, yeah. As soon as I walked in, I was like, wow, this is a dream.
Take your pick.
The doctors had said, if your son's to come back around from this, that he may not be who he used to be. It could be a huge change. He could not remember who you are.
Just feels a little bit cooler.
Cold, yeah, because it's different temperature from your body.
I can taste something.
Oh, some people say that.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah. Oh, I can taste it. What's going on?
Wow.
They did a variety of things, whether they were holding my hand, whether they were rubbing my leg, or, just seeing if there was any life in me. Mum, as she said, what kept her strong was she knew there was there was still some of me there in that body that she knows.
Any majors? Hi, thanks for taking my call. I haven't sent refer a patient, so I just wondered if I could very quickly discuss someone with you just for some advice.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
After a week or so, they are then told it's now a 20% chance that he's going to pull through and be alive.
All right. So I've spoken to the neurosurgical registrar.
Yeah.
I think what we should do is treat as an infection to start with. We'll start you off on some antibiotics for skin infection. They've advised if we can try and get you a scan today, just to make sure the infection is no deeper. I'll just try and get that scan sorted for you now.
Sure, okay, fantastic,
and then,
thank you.
I'll let you know, all right?
Lovely, thank you.
Mum was holding my hand, and then she saw me moving, and then was to say, "Hi, do you know who I am?" And I said to her, "Yeah, I know who you are. You're my mummy. I love you."
Oh my God. I don't know what to do. Do I buy Madonna tickets? I've got a code, because I'm a fan, yeah, and they've only gone out to so many people.
Oh, what? Code what?
A code
What for?
for Madonna tickets.
How much are they, though?
£50. Do I go? Do I?
Well, I don't know, do I?
Oh, do I? Don't I? Do I? Julie, help me here.
Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? Do you want to see her?
I've seen her 8 times. Do I need to see her again? I do really, don't I?
Emergency department.
Are you hungry?
A little bit.
Jonathan has had x-rays of his toe after dropping a chopping board on his foot.
Aye. So, looking at the x-ray of your toe, so the bone at the very end is broken.
It has?
Yeah, so it's because there's a break and you've also broken the skin. Technically, this counts as an open fracture. Dirt from the outside world could have got into the fracture, okay? So what we have to do in this situation is give you some antibiotics and just get everything ready.
So
You've broken your toe. No wonder it was so sore. Oh, there's dropping the chopping board.
I hate that chopping board.
Mm-hmm.
Other people would describe me would be in some ways interesting, in some ways, or some people who would meet me who didn't understand me would probably think I'm just weird.
Right, hello there, how are you doing?
There we go.
What we want to do is to put an anaesthetic block in it and then give it a good wash.
It's like the third bandage. Look, just sit back.
Yeah, we need to look. You don't need to look.
Okay. Not sure if I want to either.
Starting secondary store, from those 5 years, I cannot recall a single memorable good moment. I cannot recall a single moment even spending time with any of my classmates from outside of secondary school.
I think we've got a space we can at least get some anaesthetic in and then we'll take it off.
The needle's clean, right, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan. It's all right.
You just feel a bit stingy, okay?
Stingy, yeah. It was tough, it was rough, and I was bullied as well.
Well, that is okay. Is that going numb? Numb?
Yeah, it's full
Yeah.
of them. Some were just downright mean. I just did not like them. They thought I was too soft. They thought I was a wimp.
Let's have a look underneath here then. Okay. So...
Oh, I don't know if I want to look. Oh. Can you feel it?
A bit.
Yes, that's quite... It's a bit messy, so it's completely avulsed that below the proximal nail bed. I think what's fairly likely is you're going to lose your toenail.
Yeah.
Our plastics guys and girls will offer you probably a nail bed repair.
Does that mean you might not get a nail
You
back?
might not get another nail back. Having said that, what you should get is a toe that works and you can kick football. It's always
I just want to walk, really.
Yeah, it's just going to take time to heal.
You've really done a good job on it, Jonathan.
The times at secondary school were quite ugly in some ways. Mentally it was quite ugly. I couldn't explain it to my parents. I just thought they wouldn't understand.
So you be prepared. You might not get another nail there, because you'll always have like a toe without a toenail.
Damn.
Only a toenail. It's not a lot.
Well, there goes my chances of wooing a girl who has a foot fetish of men or whatever.
Jonathan.
I'm being silly.
Yes, you are.
It's the first time I broke anything.
Doctors are awaiting the results of Karan's x-rays after he hurt his leg in a tackle during a football match.
His dad has arrived. He's just asked me when he can come in and see his son.
Give us 2 minutes, please, and we call him.
Is my dad here?
Yes.
Okay.
He's just waiting outside.
Tell him not to worry.
Running a business was dazzling for him. In the initial stages, he was very happy with it. He felt like a boss, right? But at a young age, that happens.
There you are. I'm just going to take some bloods.
Corner shop, it's a 6 a.m. to midnight kind of work. And when the reality hits, it's just too much.
What's your full name and your date of birth?
It's Kilo Alpha, Romeo Alpha, November. That's my first name.
Yes, Karan. And you are the 3rd of September, like me.
Are you also third?
Yeah, but not the same year.
You're younger, isn't it?
No? I wish.
You know, you can become very stubborn in trying to turn it around. And it's never going to turn around. So all you're doing is putting more and more money into it.
Subscribe. Okay, the painful part is done.
Oh, Dios mío. Where are you from? But no, you're not from Spain, Spain.
I am from Spain, Spain.
Me llamo Karan.
Yes.
Donde vive Londres? Is that right?
Yes.
If you're a businessman and you're calculating It has to hit you at some point that you are losing money in this.
Sharp scratch. Yes, I'm sorry.
At the end of, I think it was 1.5 years, he said, "Dad, I can't do this." So I have to let it go. It takes some doing to admit that you're failing in this thing. You don't want to do it anymore.
Can I
have the pipe?
Yes.
Staring at your toe.
The plastic surgery team now have the full results of Jonathan's x-rays.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Charles. I'm from Plastics. Can I have a look? Sorry.
I just felt like I really had to find some improvised way to improve myself. And the only way I could do that was listening to angry rock music.
Sorry.
It's alright. A mixture of punk metal, a bit of a streamy kind of stuff. It was what made me feel better about myself because I could scream along to it.
Are you starting to get the feeling back of it?
Feeling?
Well, you know it was numb.
Yeah, the pain, a bit.
You can feel it a bit, can you?
Yeah, a bit. That was what was helping build confidence within me, to remind myself that I matter, and trying to obtain my confidence in knowing that I know better than my bullies.
So they say that a bone is broken.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's not broken?
It's not entirely broken.
Oh, that's good.
There's a bit of an artifact there. Artifact is something which would resemble, like it looks like fracture. You know, the nail itself will act as a splint, you know, and would allow the other nail to grow back.
So you think the nail will grow back?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, good.
Okay.
There's no soft tissue there that we need to any plastics intervention. Okay. All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for your
Well, that's good.
So I
the
haven't lost a nail after all.
No, the bone isn't broken, and the nail will probably grow back.
Well, I guess it'll just be back to normal. If I didn't have music, I don't know where I would be. Music was definitely my salvation. It was always a huge saver. It was there for me, even in my darkest times. And I started playing piano when I was 9, 10 years old, and I was 15 when I got my first ever guitar. Sold my Xbox 360 for it, actually. I feel like every day I just keep getting better and better. Practice makes perfect, as my dad always says. That's why I never stop practicing. Never. Sun's probably rising by now.
Yeah. Oh,
Mum?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep.
Mum? Thank you.
That's all right.
Thanks for looking after me.
That's all right. You've been very brave. I know you've been worried.
I'm more terrified of bleeding to death rather than feeling the pain. Going to open mics, it's made me grow more confident. It's made me feel more brave up on stage. Especially hecklers, they want you to play more and stuff, and it's a really great feeling.
Oh, you have got crutches. All right.
Not really, no. It's a stand? Or...
Just stand, yeah, just so I can place them in the right side.
When we go and watch him, we're very proud of what he does. That's my son. And that is his thing. That is what he loves doing, and it's obvious that, you know, that's where he shines the best. Okay, that's fine. Don't do too fast.
Hi, did they come in? Have you had scans before?
Yes.
No.
Oh God, Jesus! Scared the hell out of me with that dip.
Just calm down a bit, just a little bit. Brilliant.
Will is having a CT scan to check if the infection of his scalp is spreading.
When I were to leave St George's, I were back to the age of a 3 or 4 year old as far as my word finding, and then I could say back to the age of a 1 year old, 2 year old as far as my walking.
So I've asked them today to do scans without the dye and scans with the dye as well.
So it gives like a hot flush feeling, and some people get like a feeling like they're wetting themselves because
But
you're
you're not.
warm down below. You're not.
Okay.
You're just kind of veins in your legs get warm, and that area gets warm.
Due to the brain injury, I went from this sporty lad to then being in a wheelchair. Going from this quite bright chap to not being able to name things such as a house or a cat. At the age of 17, sleeping with my parents for months. I couldn't sleep alone. I was too scared. I was self-harming. Why? I've got no idea. It wasn't me. All of a sudden, I'm a completely different person. Completely.
Okay, so we'll start running through now. Does that feel okay?
Yeah, I can feel that going in.
I was angry at the speed in which everything was taking. It couldn't just be at the flick of a switch back to how it was or how I want it to be. At the same time, I'd take bits of anger out on my family. I really would. I'd be so frustrated with different things, with what people did, said. I really was not as nice as I was, could have been, should have been. There were, of course, those moments where it crossed my mind, do you know what, stuff this. Why am I having to go through it? It's almost as if this life is too much. It's too much to be putting up with.
You found your way back?
Yeah, indeed. They said, off you go. And I thought,
Where?
yeah, am I meant to go somewhere or just sod off? Yeah, exactly.
Doctors are awaiting the results of Will's CT scan after his scalp became infected.
So what was the machine?
It's the one where you go into the tube. It gives you stuff that they put in you, as he says, you know, feel warm in your mouth, and then like you feel wet yourself. Yeah, it warms
That's
up
the dye,
where
then,
you
is it?
draw there. And then my balls just went real hot.
Thank you, Wells.
Gentleman's region just glowed. Didn't get big, but you know what I mean, he got hotter.
My parents couldn't have done any more. Giving up their jobs to be at home with me. Taking me all over the place to see different people who were linked with it, such as neuropsychologists, speech and language therapists. It was needed because I'm having to learn all that again.
Okay, what games did you used to do when I was in hospital?
I Spy.
I Spy.
I wasn't much good because you couldn't find any words. Most of the time,
Yeah.
you were lying in the bed, you had a trachea tube in and your hands were bound up because you kept trying to rip it out.
Oh.
Trying to get your coordination back. You had a teddy bear.
Yeah.
And I used to get you to throw it to the end of the bed to try and hit your feet.
Yeah. So, how was I?
So sad. A bit uncoordinated.
Was I?
It's so hard to see from a brain injury the things that people have had to go through.
Gosh.
They may say, oh, you look so well. Cor, you've done well. I look well. Jesus. The last 13 years, whew, yeah, they have been an absolute ball ache. An absolute ball ache.
We've had the radiologist and the neurosurgeon have a quick look at the scan, all right? And we can't see any connection from the skin lower down into the brain or anything. We think we'll be able to manage it just with antibiotics and then see you as an outpatient later in the week.
Okay,
all
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right?
Cheers, thank you.
No problem.
It is a lot to go through. What's happened. Let's get going forward.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see it.
Did you see the medal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you want a dressing on that?
Okay.
Can we trim a bit of your hair, or you're not?
How will I look?
Gorgeous as ever. What about if I put it on there and then just bandaged around it?
Yeah.
What, and then bandage around my face? No, no, shut up. I'm not doing that.
Okay. Oh, look.
Just sweep over.
Just sweep over, yeah.
Okay, all right.
It could have been your
Fantastic.
whole head shaved off.
Yeah, well, half, wasn't it? Yeah, exactly, yeah. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
The X-ray show.
Oh,
Is it a good one?
it's a good one. Yeah, no. Double-footed studs up tackled. There you go.
Doctors now have the results of Karan's x-rays.
Bless him. Is he going to want some pins put in?
He's going to go up to theatre and probably have a nail from the sounds of things. Poor chap.
Oh.
Karan's father and friends have now arrived at St George's.
Hi, Dad. I'm sorry.
For what?
That I had brought you out of work and stuff. Right, Valo. Look, thank you for coming. I don't want to play football.
Okay, so there might the fracture might unacceptable.
I'm scared.
You might have obviously it's an operation.
I think Karan would learn a lot from that corner shop. It takes guts for a businessman to be able to say, I can't do it, after having taken it on. We faced it together, so I suppose we are more closer.
Dad, who's in the shop?
Karan and myself are doing the money exchange business since last 4 years. Yeah, we work well together as a team. Karan's not a workaholic, no. He's got too much of a comfort zone to be a workaholic. But when he's doing deals and all, he's very, very focused. In the business, accounts are the main thing. And he keeps accounts perfectly to the decimal places, that the way I like it.
Mr. Karan.
Yes.
So I had a look at your x-rays. We'll be able to fix the fracture with the rod inside the bone, okay? So we are planning to have you operated in half an hour.
Perfect.
Okay?
Brilliant. As long as I don't die, do what you have to do.
We've always been close, but we are so close that even though we are father and son, there is not a subject that is off limits. There are no barriers. He tells me I effed up. This is what I should have given and this is what I ended up giving. With me, he is very, very open. And I like it that way. I never had that close a relationship with my father. I think the relationship I share with Karan is how it should be. Should I tell your mother yet? Or?
No.
Till the operation is done.
Yeah. Don't tell anyone. Let the operation happen, then you can tell people.
Okay, then I'll tell Girish also after that. Okay.
When young people have been through a severe accident or a trauma, you see them turning towards their families, their mothers, their fathers. It's a kind of need. You need the people that are there, that you love the most.
Porter to recess, please.
A bond between a patient and a relative becomes so much stronger.
Get well soon?
It's the love and the emotions that take over in the accident emergency.
Karan will be taken to emergency theatre, where surgeons will operate on his leg in order to give him the best chance of walking normally again.
Come on there. Oh. It's on my mind every day ever since the assault. I don't know if I'm doing my hair. I think my scars, I see them every time I'm doing anything. But the brain injury has made me a much more positive person. I am in the ones who are more fortunate. I'm going to put myself up there in the 0.01% of people who have suffered a brain injury and are able to sit here today and then be talking about it as openly as I am.
So after the operation, I remember looking at my leg and seeing how swollen it was. Work was always on my mind because it's only the two of us, so I'm not there. My dad, he was working constantly. And the benefit of working with my dad is that even if I question it, I know that his interests are always, good for me and always my best interest at heart. My dad is my best friend, I could say that quite confidently. I am who I am mostly wholly because of our relationship.